Kim and Tom, we asked a defense attorney, a longtime prosecutor, and a civil litigator to weigh in. We found a lot of agreement and some key differences about this case and the police accountability movement.
There's certainly going to be a battle of medical experts fighting about what caused the death and who was most responsible, who was responsible at all.
No disagreement there, but how that fight unfolds in court is another matter.
That is going to be a super big challenge in an environment where you've already had the first medical examiner come back right about the time of Elijah McClain's death and say, I can't tell you what killed him.
At the same time,
the coroner also did not rule out the fact that the chokehold combined with the ketamine may have been the cause or contributed to the death. And that, I think, is going to be a key part of the trial.
These attorneys also agree video will play a big role.
There's a visceral reaction to what we see on the body cams, but at the end of the day, none of these charges are really swayed one way or the other by the body cam themselves.
They don't agree about whether it will speak to the facts of the case. Body cams, cell phones, surveillance cameras, changing the effort to hold police accountable.
Those three factors, all of which are video related, have really changed public attitudes towards the police and have made prosecution of a case like this much, much easier than it would have been in, say, 1975, 1985, or 1995.
All three of these attorneys agree that this indictment marks another step in changing times, where police officers will be more likely to face criminal charges for on-the-job actions.
So now they've talked about this, but what's the very next step that comes up?
The criminal justice process will start moving slowly. These officers and paramedics will have to turn themselves in. They'll be booked. They'll probably be released on bail. Then there'll be a series of court hearings. Eventually, months, maybe years from now, there could be a trial or a series of trials. We'll see.
The difference being this was originally not pursued by the Adams County District Attorney. So now it went to a grand jury because the state moved in?
The state moved in. They decided to turn it over to a grand jury. The grand jury brought in some experts that weren't consulted by Adams County, medical experts and so forth. They took testimony, gathered documents, and here we are, charges.
They meet for months and every week, my understanding is, right? So they went through a lot of information.
Yeah, the Attorney General said today they actually started meeting, I think, in January, once it was safe during the pandemic for them to start meeting, and here we are September 1st and we have indictments, so that's 9 months of work.
You look at the evidence, all of our attorneys talked about the medical evidence, but in this day and age, it's video, video, video. And the video is going to be the biggest piece of this puzzle, I think.
Right, and our experts disagreed. Some of them thought there was substantive stuff on the video, like the whole question of whether Elijah McClain was trying to grab an officer's gun. Some of them thought this will have emotional impact, but not actually weigh on the facts of what those officers and paramedics did and how he died.
We've been following it, and we'll continue to follow it. There is more now to this case involving Elijah McClain's death. Thanks, Kevin.
You bet.